Hello and welcome to Fibertown. This is episode 236. You hear that tip tap? As soon as I start talking to the computer, hello, friend. Anyway, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Emily, Chain of Fools on Ravelry, Fibertown with an R-E on Instagram. And I have a lot to share with you, and I just sat down to make some show notes, and they are very bare bones. So bear with me as I figure this all out. We'll just chat about things as they come up, and I'll probably forget things, and that's what next time is for. So today we have some housekeeping, briefly. I have one FO, I have works in progress, I have spinning dyeing, acquisitions from Shenandoah Valley Fiber Festival, and sewing. And just probably random stuff thrown in. So, the business stuff first. Okay. The Wallen Along, the Marie Wallen Cal that I'm doing with my friends Karina the Woolly Thistle, Sarah of Fiber Trek, Sarah of Yarns and Yahoo. It's almost finished, and it's been a great knit along. Any Marie Wallen patterns, and I haven't mentioned the prizes in ages, so let me just keep you up to date. So you can post on Instagram with the Wallen Along hashtag or hashtag Marie Wallen KAL. I will pull one prize from Instagram. I think that will probably be the Woolly Thistle $25 gift card that I'm giving away. So that'll be Instagram. Now, two things are happening prize-wise with the Ravelry group. And the first is a package of stuff. I have just various bits and pieces that I will be sending to the winner from that particular draw. I have, for example, would you like some dried marigolds to dye with? This is maybe a quarter of what I have from my summer collection. I have some hand-spun yarn for you. I have some notions, things like that. It'll be a lovely gift pack. So that's two prizes. Now the third prize is for everybody. And I'm following the lead and inspiration of my other friends in this KAL and offering a charity donation. And I will be donating to a charity I'll tell you about in just a minute, but I will give $1 for every post in the Wallen Along thread in the Fibertown group on Ravelry. So the charity I have chosen has been something I've been thinking about since I heard about it, I think last winter, perhaps, in Layla Syed's podcast, the Good Ancestor podcast. She interviewed Rachel Cargill, and Rachel had started a fundraiser for, let's see, I'm going to read you what she has written about it. And she started this fundraiser. They've reached their initial goal, but they're going to keep going because really this is like a continual thing that needs to happen. And they have partnered with another foundation basically to administer this program because it does have a lot of moving parts, I would imagine. Okay, so here's her initial GoFundMe page. So yeah, she started this almost a year ago. So she talks about, again, this is Rachel Cargill, Cargle, and let's see. She talks about a little bit of her life background and talks about healing from certain traumas in her past and says, I deserve to have that healing and I'm privileged to have access to professional mental health care. As I turn 30, I am committed to continuing to climb in my own healing because when I heal, it sends ripples of healing to others. But this climb is not my own, it is ours, it is the climb of Black women. Black women and girls deserve access to healing. The planet Earth needs the ripples that will form from their healing. This birthday, I'm honoring my new decade by causing some waves. With appointments costing $80 to $250 per session, the more funds we collect, the more Black women we can say, we see you, we hear you, we too are invested in your healing. I'm raising funds to sponsor therapy sessions for as many Black women and girls as our collective donations can support. Women who have not been able to pay for therapy sessions on their own and would like the support for your mental health care, click here. And I will be managing the funds raised in this campaign and paying therapists directly. Now, since then, they have partnered with the lovelandfoundation.org to administer this. And I have clicked through, I have found some therapist websites that state up front that they work through this foundation. They offer therapy sessions at incredibly reduced charge or no charge at all. So I feel like this is incredibly important, and I've benefited from therapy in the past, truly benefited from it from time to time when I've needed it. And to feel that it is completely out of your reach is just another level of hopelessness that I don't like to think of people going through that. So this is quite a groundbreaking thing, and as I said, it's been on my mind ever since I heard about it. So if you're curious about it, you can look at Rachel Cargill's GoFundMe, and then there's a link there, but you can also Google the lovelandfoundation.org Therapy Fund for Black Women and Girls. So I am very pleased to be donating $1 per post in that thread. And I'll close that probably the Monday after Rhinebeck. So hopefully that's a win for everybody. Okay, so works in progress. It's been a weird time around here, I have to say. It's been busy and not in a good way. But everyone's okay now, and we are knitting through it. So my first work in progress is these socks that I didn't really enjoy knitting that much. They sucked my sock mojo out of me, and I'm very pleased that they're done. I don't know if I'll wear them. They're very thick. I might give them away. We'll see. Now let's talk about my other sock on the needles, because I did cast one on almost right away, but I did cast another one on, and I've knit this much so far. This is my usual needle, 1.5 millimeters. Gorgeous West Yorkshire spinners in the blue tit colorway, which is fun to say. The blue tit colorway. This is British wool, including a nice percentage of BFL, 35%, and some nylon in there as well. It's a nice, sturdy, fun to knit sock yarn. Great colors. I've knit maybe three of these colorways, maybe 4. Maybe this is the 4th. So all bird related. I like the bird ones. And they have a robin one coming out for Christmas, for the holiday season. And I got mine when I visited the Woolly Thistle this summer. So very pleased. So the only other thing I've been actively working on is the L. I've been yelling, as we've been saying in our friend group. Sarah Pomegranate and I have both been knitting this. Hers is finished. She has been a nice support through this process. And look, I have cut open both sleeves, the steeks for both sleeves. I have finished one sleeve. Look at that. I am halfway through the fun color work on the second sleeve cuff. So this one, the first one, is on waste yarn, because I think what I'm going to do is do a purl round, and then I don't know which color I'll pick, either one of the grays. Then I'll knit, an extended bit of stockinette, and I'll decrease in there too, so that this is going to be meant to be tucked in. This is meant to be tucked in. And so the circumference needs to be smaller than this circumference, the part that's going to be folded in. So I will do that. I will fold it in. I will tack it down. And I will have a nice folded over cuff. Don't want to do a ribbing. I don't want to do moss stitch. No. So I'm actually thinking of doing something similar down here after I cut open the steek for the front. So I'm using the same needle size, actually. Maybe I've gone up a needle size. I used US 4s for the body, and I think this is a US 5. But the sleeves fit well. I love 12-inch circulars for sleeves, especially for colorwork sleeves. And I've been catching the ends, so I'll just be able to clip those off when I go back to clean up the sweater. Yeah, I'd love to do like a doubled hem here as well, because I just don't see this laying flat. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to pick up I don't know. And I don't know how I'm going to go about the front band either. I know that Sarah's had issues with hers rolling. She's not the only one. So I need to put some thought into that. But this is really, really moving along. And that's by Marie Wallin, the Yell cardigan. And that is the name of an island, I believe, in the Shetland archipelago. I don't think it's inhabited. So yeah, it's just been that sweater, I will finish it in the next few weeks, and it's just been quite a time. I think I cast this on in May or June. I have it in my Ravelry. Anyway, very soon I'll be done talking about it, and I'll be wearing it. We had one cold day. It was glorious here. Oh my gosh. It's been so hot. It's dry. In fact, just to segue really briefly, I mentioned maybe in the last episode that I wanted to use acorns to make a dye bath for my Clenforest handspun. That's sort of going to be the main body of some sort of sweater. I've already done small bits of the other one dyed botanically, or the other bits of the fleece. Am I making any sense? I don't know sometimes. However, because of the terrible dry weather, the acorn harvest is pretty crappy. This is my little containers of botanicals. Yeah, they're puny. There's not a lot of them. I feel like I'm fighting the squirrels for them. And I don't know if I need to go, I've even been looking on my daily walks for stands of oaks. I need to go in the woods. I don't know if there's many oaks in the woods. I haven't really noticed any. But usually, they're just pelting our house day and night. Those trees just pelt our house with acorns. And they kind of roll down the roof. So yeah, just the year I decided I want to dye with them. You can also dye with oak leaves, so I might try that. I need to get an iron modifier going because I do know that whichever method of oak I use, I want to modify it with iron. And I can't find anything rusty. Nobody around here has rusty anything. So I'm wondering if I do have some ferrous sulfate pills that I've never used. I do take iron, but I take iron with vitamin C, which is much easier on my system. But I do have this old bottle of ferrous sulfate, and I think that's what a rust bath is. Could I just crush those up, put them in some water, vinegar? I'm gonna try that. What have I got to lose? So, oh God. There's a grub. I think it came in on the acorn. I'm not gonna show you, but it's in here. Oh my gosh. I've got some zinnia heads in here as well that had really fantastic gradation of pink this year. I want to save some of those. This is some of my alkanet that's dried, that gorgeous blue. I've also found some oak galls. Like there's this guy. But I think these are baby oak galls. They're not fully formed yet. They're definitely baby oak galls, but they're falling off the tree. So I just think it's oh. No, you are not coming out of that dish. Go away. I'm going to deal with you later. I put a cap over him. Anyway. Yeah, you can get hitchhikers in your botanical goods that you bring inside to dye. In the height of summer, when I was bringing in marigolds, I thought marigolds repelled insects. But I should have known. Insects somebody has adapted to like marigolds. So I did get a few caterpillars hatching out of my marigolds as they were drying, and I didn't see them as they came in, but when I would see them is when they were gigantic and pooping. Yeah, sorry, this is really gross so far. But these are all nicely bug-free. And these poor caterpillars would start to spin a little bit of silk for their cocoon and couldn't get anywhere. I took them outside. And they are going to be butterflies after all. So what else have I got? Yes, okay. These are Madder. seeds. In fact, well, those are kind of madder pods, those tiny, tiny black specks. Those are the madder seeds. Oh my goodness, I got a ton from my 2-year-old madder. It's seeded everywhere, and a lot of that got buried when I started to dig up the madder roots, which I did yesterday. So this laptop is actually sitting on top of the container that holds the madder roots. So I'm not going to show you the whole thing. I did put a picture on Instagram, but here's one of them. And it's in really bad soil. I really need to work on the soil where I have a lot of things planted. It's coming, but let's break it open, shall we? Yeah, look at that. That's the gorgeous color. So I will wash these. It's got a lovely smell too. Kind of herbal. Anyway, I will wash these off because apparently there are pigments on the outside that are less desirable. They make the color a bit dull. And then I think I'm going to use it fresh. I don't know what I'm dyeing yet. Oh, okay, there's more. Oh, there are now 3 grubs. Holy smokes. Okay, I'll just watch you guys. Oh, this is bad. I don't like grubs. I don't like maggots. Who does? Does anyone? No. All right, I may need to rethink this whole acorn thing. Okay, I'm gonna put this away. Put it outside. Leave it. Hey, leave it. So, sorry about that. So if you're not familiar with oak galls, Galls, I could be making this up, but it's something like this. Some sort of insect. It's like a growth from a parasite, basically. This insect burrowing into part of the oak makes it form this kind of cyst. And people used to make ink from oak galls, and they still do. But that was one of the first sources of it. I also have, it's gorgeous, Coreopsis seeds, which I think they might actually be like a yellow cosmos. According to my wild color book, the plant looks more like a wild cosmos than a Dyer's Coreopsis. Doesn't make a difference to me. It dyes stuff beautifully. Okay, now we're 17 some minutes in. How much time did I waste talking about grubs? I do not like to talk for this long. All right, spinning, dyeing, and acquisitions. Okay, I don't even know where to start. All right, let's start here. Made a Willy Thistle purchase. And is this everything? Well, I got some of this. This is the Plotulopi. I don't know the colorway, but it's gorgeously green. And I was completely inspired by the Mandarines knitting a sweater out of this. And I love my Plotulopi shawl so much and just loved snuggling in it last winter. I got 3 plates. I think I'm going to make a cropped, very simple raglan. Just make it up. To go with a lot of the high-waisted things I'm wearing and some of the dresses, like winter dresses. Yeah, I might play around with the raglaning, the frequency of the increases and that sort of thing. So I bought that. And I also, oh yes, this is the other thing. I got some British breeds to try, just one little ball. That's Marie Wallen's yarn, and it's a gorgeous blend of, this is the raw colorway. Blueface Leicester, Exmoor, Wensleydale, and Warbles. And I also had to pick up some of this. This is Armscott Manor, Portland. So it's a very ancient British breed, and this is like this is sport to DK weight. Oh, I can't talk. Sport to DK weight. British wool, made in the UK. Yeah. So just a cheeky Willy Thistle purchase. I've also Speaking of natural dyeing, do you remember the really yellow yarn that I had? It's a Coopworth from Solitude Wool. Looks like this now. Where do I begin? So it was bright yellow, like bright yellow. I don't dislike bright yellow, but I wanted to continue playing with it. So I did some fresh indigo dye baths. And what I realized pretty rapidly, usually I do 2 fresh indigo dye baths for best color. I was hoping to put some blue onto the yellow and get a green. But to get enough indigo leaves for this much wool, this is a little over a pound of wool. That was a lot of indigo, which I did have, but the fresh indigo, you have to work with it quickly before the pigment kind of fades. You have to keep it cold. So I was by myself. If I were to do this again for a large quantity, I would have other hands helping me just to strip the leaves quickly. Because you need so much, I wasn't really able to strip them as quickly as I needed. Anyway, and to do that twice for 2 dye baths, it was a lot of work. It was not super successful. It did modify the color, toned it down a bit, but I wasn't getting a really great green. And then I watched Ninja Chickens dye with black beans. In for a penny, in for a pound. I'll try that. So that was fun. I really enjoyed it. And that really kind of pushed it more. I'm calling it Pond Scum now, which I know was a very popular colorway a few years back. By a few years, I mean many years. 2010? Anyway. Yeah, so very different. Now, I would not say no to putting this in a bona fide indigo dye bath. This is the yarn. It's great. Solitude Wool Coopworth. Sport weight, this is, 340 yarn, yeah. So there it is. Solitude Wool. So, I don't think it's finished yet, but it'll go in my stash for now. Yes, indeed. Yeah, that fresh indigo is really best for smaller things, I think. Okay. I have been spinning, and I have been fleece prepping. I have shifted my focus to another Coopworth, actually. A beautiful Coopworth fleece. I'm combing it. Very little combing waste from these gorgeous, gorgeous locks. Here they are. I think I showed you this last time as well. Look at that. They still have a bit of lanolin, so I am putting these in the sun before I comb them just to soften them up. And as it gets colder, I will maybe put a heating pad over it. We'll see. So these are my little combed nests. It's a beautiful color. And I have my first bobbin completed, and I have a second one about 2/3 of the way done. I'm thinking I'm going to two-ply it. We'll see. We'll see. I did a quick, what's this called? A quick sample ages ago. I've already shown this one. It's just a chain ply, though. Chain ply, 3-ply, so it's not really well plied. But I'm going to swatch this up very soon. Now, I did wash another fleece, and this was probably the dirtiest fleece I've ever had. It was unskirted. Lots of poop. Yay, this is the Poop and Grubs podcast. Yay. Keeping it real. Sorry, I'm just watching what's going on the street. So, this is a Hog Island fleece. The Hog Island is not raised for its fleece quality in general. These are a super duper conservation breed. They're just being raised to keep them alive. That's an inch staple. It's a challenge to work with. So I skirted the fleece as best I could. Man, this thing. Oh. There's a package coming. This thing was so dirty. Super dirty. I think it could use another wash. I should have washed it a 3rd time. It's all right. We'll be fine. The poop's gone. Yeah, so I did a sample of that, and this is the washed sample. This is a 2-ply, I think. Not as bouncy as my previous Tog Islands, but I think it's going to be a great little fleece to dye up. And seems like a good time to talk about more fleeces. And this is where acquisitions come into the picture. So, acquisitions of more fleeces. Yes, I did. I acquire more fleeces. Because, not that I need to make excuses for why, but the Fiber Festival season, for me, really generally comes to an end with Shenandoah Valley. Last year I did go to the Virginia, what's it called? Is it the Virginia? Yeah, Virginia Fiber Festival. And I did buy that Coopworth fleece there. That's stunning. But I think I'm full up for fleeces now, so I did not go. So let's start small. I visited the Ross Farm. I got some Power Scour, as well as this raw Florida Cracker fleece. It's pretty funky smelling, in the best sheepy way. I don't think this is probably, it's been skirted. It's the Ross Farm, but it has not been washed. And then I got the best deals. Does my face get manic when I talk about fleece? Probably. Anyway, these were the best deals at Shenandoah Valley. I really enjoy the fleece sale there. They have knowledgeable people to unroll the fleece and look at it with you and roll it back up if you don't want it. So let's start with this one. Border Leicester! 2.5 pounds for $20, folks. 20 smackaroos. Very clean, good soundness is good, staple length is 4 inches, which is short for Border Leicester. Medium fine quality. It has a bold crimp, a soft handle, dark gray to chocolate tips. Nice luster. It's a rinsed fleece and it's scented. I don't know what that's about, but it's okay. Sweater, outerwear, easy to hand process, or combing this would be beautiful. I agree. And really, I have this holy grail fleece in my head that is the perfect charcoal. It's not brown, it's not black, it is charcoal. Parts of this fleece do it for me, not the whole thing. But I think that, I do think that blending it has a lot of promise. Yes, indeed. Yeah, there are chocolate tips, so that will affect the color. But then, this, isn't that pretty? That's charcoal. And then there's some lighter gray right here. Oh, it is really soft. Oh my gosh. So yeah. I think after I process the Coopworth, I don't know. It'll be, I don't know which one. It'll be what strikes me in the moment to process. Now let me get my other fleece and chat to you about that. This was a very expensive $35. It's a Jacob, 1.5 pounds, clean. This staple length in places is longer than the Border Leicester, which is strange. It must have been a young Border Leicester. So it's consistent with the breed. Sorry about my dirty fingernails. That is from the garden. Multi-use, some lilac areas. This is from the sheep named Moxie. Who was the Border Leicester? Flaca girl. Is that like flaca, like Spanish? Skinny? Flaca? It doesn't have a K in it, but it sounds like Spanish. Maybe it's, who knows. Anyway. I cannot resist a lovely little Jacob. And there were several lovely little Jacobs. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Let's see, where are those lilac areas? So, the white, this one I took because these are a bit lilac here. I took this one because it has a lot of white in it, and I utterly botched the spinning of the white fleece on my last Jacob, and I would really like to have a full Jacob sweater again. So I need more white, and that'll do the trick. The last Jacob I got from Maryland, year before last, just had very little white to the fleece, but had all sorts of other colors. But the pure white, because I screwed it up, I need more of it. Makes good sense, right? Now, I did buy some more fiber. Oh my gosh, I bought fiber. If you are a spinner and you win the Murray Wallen Cal, where I'm giving away a gifty gift, this will go in there. So the Lichen Batlings, and now you might remember that Hobbledehoy, this is her last vending experience ever. And she does still have things in her Etsy shop, as far as I know, but it'll be closing down. So if you win the Murray Wallen Prize and you're a spinner, that would be the one from the Ravelry group, then this will be part of the gift. So I bought some things for myself as well. These are very pastel fairy dust bats. Oh look, it kind of matches. Not colors I typically wear, but beautiful. And then this one, yes, cocoa dust. Very pretty browns and pinks. And then this one, which is just fun to spin. And I've actually got one on my new spindle. I did not hold back at this festival. Wanted it to sort of tide me over until next year's Maryland. I'm not going to Rhinebeck, and this will help with the not being there, which is okay. It's just not a great time for me to travel that far and be able to stay that many days, sort of, to make the travel worth it. I got a new bead whirl from the Spanish Peacock. Look at this. Look at that beautiful, beautiful wood. Oh yes, I really love my bead whirl. This is one of those rainbow batlings. So I have 2 bead whirls. I've held back from buying spindles for the last few years. But yeah, I saw this and grabbed it. I also got the spindle because can you see? I don't know if that's a heart. There's a heart in that wood. And I just really love these natural colors together. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. And I need to put it back in a safe place. Soft landing spot. I have had it in here. Scissors need to go somewhere. I have started warping my loom. I have all of the warp threads tied on the back beam. It's not actually warped fully, but I have amassed quite a stash of natural colored wool and hand spun leftovers, project leftovers. It's all up on the loom now, and this will be the weft. It's going to be a plaid. It's going to be a very random plaid. Plaid of natural colors. There's little gifts from friends in there and bits of previous spins. So, did I get anything else at Shenandoah? I bought soap, lots of soap. Power Scour, like I said. I got to see some friends. You know what? The camel wasn't there this year. I missed him. Yeah. There were bunnies. The food was pretty good. So it was delightful and gets better every year. I would say next year I'm going before it opens because the traffic was, I've never had to deal with that much traffic to get in that tiny little rural community fairgrounds. It takes place in Berryville, Virginia, which is not super far from the West Virginia border. All right, so didn't mean to segue like that into sewing, but it works. What am I wearing now, you might ask? I made the Roscoe blouse. Now this is the Roscoe blouse. This is a size 10, and I will be going to a size 8 next time. It's wonderful. Really easy to wear, fun, comfy. I did a rolled, look at that. Look at that. That is my rolled hem foot goodness, which I mostly successfully completed. But yeah, I feel like it's very big in my shoulders, and I could easily go down to a size 8. So I will do that next time. So much ease in this thing. I used, does this call for, yeah. So there's the sleeves. Really easy, successful make. Just looking at this collar. What's happening with this collar? Oh my God. This collar needs to be stitched down. It has come. Something happened to that. Okay, good catch before I washed it. See that right there? I didn't catch it when I top stitched it right there, and I did not notice till just now. Great. Anyway, this was a really fun make, as I said, very fast. Does have some gathering. I did the best I could. I continue to struggle with gathering, but I feel like this is pretty wearable. Not too bad, not too asymmetrical. Bumming me out. Okay, so the fabric was part of my Fabric Mart acquisitions, and that was the place in Pennsylvania that has the vintage. They bought out a garment district fabric shop called Rosin and Chattox, and this is very vintage silk. I feel like it has these kind of lines through it. Do you see that? It's a crinkly silk, and not a color I usually wear, but I really enjoy it. So that's make number one. I have another top to show you that I love, but let me show you some other things first because I want to change into that top. I made the Heroine jeans by Merchant and Mills, and I used, oh gosh, this is a Japanese popcorn denim. Hang on, I have it here. It is it's very rigid denim. I will look up in my Instagram to tell you exactly the weight of this denim. 12 ounce Japanese popcorn dead stock denim. It's super dark indigo. So, you guys, I made me some Deathly Hollow pockets, and the top stitching is pretty rad. It's pretty, oh yeah, look, I found right there is a little bit wobbly. Why do we point out our mistakes? I'm sorry, they're imperfections, but it's freaking awesome. They are very high-waisted, very, very high-waisted, very comfy. I actually wore them all day long to an in-service, and I wouldn't want to wear these all day long moving around. It's a lot of weight to carry around, and yeah, but I love them. I'm not completely sold on this cuff thing down here, so I might play with the hemming. The button needs to be fixed as well. It's not the greatest, but overall, I am thrilled. I am thrilled with these. I feel like these are like the tattoo I'll never actually get. That I'd love to have a tattoo, but I really can't be arsed. I guess I don't really want to have a tattoo that badly. So the pocket bags are from a Scout tee that I didn't want to wear anymore because it's a Scout tee and I think they don't look good on anybody. So this was, oh gosh, I think it was a cotton and steel double gauze. They're super soft. I will say that, so this is, I think, the fourth pair of jeans I've made. And I gotta say the Ginger jeans pockets are super good. I think the difference is their pocket, they're called a pocket stay. So the pockets span, they're trapped into the side of the waistband. So they kind of support your tummy a bit. And then when you put the jeans on, you know, with a pocket like this, you kind of have to put your hand in there and smooth down the pocket. But the pockets stay, like the Ginger jeans, there's nothing to faff with. So those are the Heroine jeans, pair of jeans number 4. 2 more things to show you. Oh, and I've just washed some black stretch denim to make a second pair of Ginger jeans. Okay, so I made a shirt dress. It is not hemmed because I think I'm going to cut it into a just a shirt. This is the Cali pattern. This is Nara Homespun. There's the collar. This is Nara Homespun from Seven Berry. Pretty good job on the collar. Buttons look all right. I used vintage buttons. They were 50 cents for 8. It's texting me. Okay, work is texting me. I put in little waist ties with a little loop on either side to catch them. But what I realized is that if I wanted a shirt dress, I should have made the pop-over placket of the Cali. So, because when I sit down, this button's all the way down. When I sit down, that last button pops open. I'm never going to wear this as a dress. So, it really was a trial to see how I liked the style before I cut into some really gorgeous Oeko-Tex rayon, which is a more sustainably produced rayon with like a closed water loop and that sort of thing. So yeah, I think what I'll do is when I do make another Cali as a shirt dress, I'll do the pop-over placket. So yeah, I think I need to cut this off and make it into a shirt soon. So I'm gonna pause this and put on the other shirt that I made so I can share it with you guys. It looks just so good. Hello! So I took a pause, I put on a new shirt, and I'm gonna look up the picture of what it's supposed to look like for you. But I also took the time to make some tea. Oh, I want to share this tea with you. This tea is worth searching out, but don't buy everything so that I can still have some. I don't like puka teas or puka. Almost every single one I've had is... This one is so good if you let it steep the maximum time, which is 15 minutes. It's really good. Plus elderberry echinacea, so good for you. So I'm brewing myself one right now. So this is the other shirt, top really, that I made. It's Style Arc. It's by Style Arc. Let's see if this is it. Okay. So it's called the Teddy Top. I'm sorry, I should have looked this up before I came back on here. Waffle, waffle, blah, blah, blah. So this is the Teddy Top. I've made it out of silk noil. I got this silk noil at Stitch Sew Shop. Pardon me not looking at you right now. I'm looking for a better picture of this top. Oh my gosh, come on, Instagram. I love this fabric so very much. Okay, I'm giving up on Instagram. I'm gonna look on the actual web. All right, okay, putting in Teddy, not good on the actual web. Okay, so Style Arc, the Teddy Top, just so good. Okay, well, this gives you some idea of what the collar is supposed to look like. Hi, this lovely lady. Yes, you can either flip it up like that, or you can flip it down, which also looks quite good. Like that. So, you might notice I don't have any. Let me show you. The silk noil, it wrinkles pretty quickly. However, I adore it. So, the instructions leave a lot to be wanted. It's kind of swingy and drapey, and it looks very elegant, and you can eat a large amount of Japanese food at happy hour and not like worry about anything constricting you. So it's got this lovely nubby texture, and unlike different kinds of silk, it's so easy to sew with. So easy. It is a bit on the pricey side, but this particular undyed version was like $3 cheaper a yard. So I would splurge and get more. I want more of this in some other colors. I adore wearing it. I hand finished the cuffs here, stitched them down. And so yeah, so anyway, no collar. Instructions not great, and kind of contradictory. So it has facings, and it does say sandwich the collar between the facings But then that's in the description, it says that. But then in the instructions, it really doesn't say that. It tells you to do something with the facings, and then like 3 steps later, it says to sandwich the. So I didn't know how I. So I already had the facings there. I'd understitched them and everything, and they lay really flat and nice. And I had this V right here, really nicely done. And I wanted to wear the top that day, so I made the call, no collar, because also I had put the collar together and interfaced it, and it really wasn't. There was one part of it that wasn't lying, where the fabric wasn't lying flat, and I didn't know how that was going to all come together, how it would look, if that bubbly part would be on the underside. But then you could flip the collar up or down, so that would limit my options there. And I just feel like this is simple. It's elegant. The fabric is so elegant. Yeah, it needs to be pressed. I love wearing it. So I left it like that. I'll try the collar again another day, but I'm spoiled by other indie patterns which hold your hand. You know, people say that those patterns hold your hand, but in reality, they've taught me how to sew. It's worthwhile education, and it's worthwhile paying for that. This was not like a big 4 pattern price either. But I really love the look, and I could see doing this top a lot more. Yeah. Wind is kicking up. Can you hear the wind chimes? So one last thing here. This is a little sewing journal I have started. My Verona jacket. I'm not making this very fancy at all. Just sort of doing different categories: jackets, tops, pants, dresses. So I'm saying like what the fabric was, how much I actually used. So this will hopefully help me buy more exact quantities of fabric in the future. You know, because I think a lot of designers will over-recommend the amount of yardage because, you know, things I did wrong, things I could have done better, things to catch before they go wrong next time, how I changed it size-wise, yeah, modifications, thoughts, issues, problems, fabric. These are my heroin jeans. So for example, this little fabric. Be sure to stay stitch the waist. It didn't say to stay stitch the waist, but I must have stretched it out because the waistband itself was too small. Changed long seam allowance, detailed it on the pattern. Okay, so I noted that I had made some sort of change on the pieces. Talked about the fly method. I like the fly method on the ginger jeans better. So just thoughts and musings. Yada, yada, yada. So I should add actually to that shirt dress. Yeah, Teddy Top. What did I write? Terrible directions. 2.5 yards of white silk noil, 44 inches wide. Without the collar, I could have used 2 yards easily. Love the silhouette. Would do cuffs differently. I would do them like the Callie cuffs. Yep. So I need to make sure that I make a note. I haven't done that on every pattern of how much yardage I actually ended up using. So that's what's happening around here, everybody. Hope you're well. I hope you're finishing your Marie Wallin stuff and adding it to Instagram and Ravelry. Are you going to Rhinebeck? I hope you have a wonderful time. I hope it's cold. None of this 80-degree nonsense like last year. One year I went and it was snowing. That was magical. I think that was the first year. Just flakes. But I super enjoyed it. I will be here celebrating my anniversary and my birthday because my birthday is on the Rhinebeck Saturday. And I'm sure there will be some fibery acquisitions related to that. So until next time, hopefully, oh gosh, it'll be at the end of the month most likely. We'll do prizes. And until then, take care.